Welcome to TechThali.org video tutorial. In this video, we will discuss about the most popular agile methodology, Scrum. Scrum is very popular. It is lightweight. It is very easy to understand. It consists of 3 teams, 5 events and 3 artifacts. We will look into each one of these in detail in coming sections. Let us have an overview of the Scrum process. The business vision, ideas and requirements are the inputs to software development. They are captured, documented, prioritized, estimated and maintained as a product backlog. The software development happens in small iterations, which is known as sprint. Its duration is normally 2 weeks to 1 month. The team will discuss with the product owner and will identify the top priority items which needs to be developed as a part of next iteration. This identified set is known as Sprint Backlog. Once the Sprint Backlog is identified and agreed upon, team will focus on the design and implementation of it. This work constitutes a sprint. During the sprint, team will conduct daily Scrum meeting to check the sprint progress. Outcome of the sprint is a working software which can be used by the business. After the completion of one sprint, team will again get together to identify the next sprint's backlog. In Scrum, this process continues until there is a project closure. Now let us see the structure of a Scrum team. Scrum consists of 3 teams. Development team. They are responsible for the analysis, design, development and testing of the software. They are empowered. They are self-organizing. They are cross-functional. Product owner. Product owner is responsible for maximizing the value of the product. The person takes the ownership of the product backlog, which includes prioritization, documenting, accuracy and visibility. Scrum Master. Scrum Master is responsible to make sure that Agile team understood Scrum and its process is followed. Scrum Master is a servant leader to remove impediments to progress. The servant leader's main goal is to serve the team. A servant leader removes bureaucratic obstacles, fills in the cracks to smooth the way for the team as well as advise them when necessary. They are not afraid of getting hands dirty. A servant leader is responsible for managing the technical as well as the social health of the team. Scrum Master also assists the product owner in managing the product backlog. Scrum Master is responsible for coaching and facilitating events. Let us now look at the various Scrum events. Scrum consists of 5 events. Sprints. Sprint is a time-boxed iteration. It means duration is fixed. Generally, the duration varies from 2 weeks to 1 month. The final output of the sprint is a releasable, working software. There is no goal change or team change during the sprint. Let us now look at the various Scrum events. Scrum consists of 5 events. Sprints. Sprint is a time-boxed iteration. Sprint starts with a sprint planning meeting, where the work to be performed is defined. Development activity includes analysis, design, coding and testing. A daily 15-minute Scrum will be conducted to assess the progress of the sprint. At the end of the sprint, a sprint review meeting is conducted to evaluate the outcome of the sprint. Team will conduct a retrospective meeting at the end of the sprint to assess the performance, collect the lessons learned and identify areas for improvement. The outcome of the retrospective is used to fine-tune the next sprint. Now let us look at each of these Scrum events in detail. Sprints. It can be treated as a mini project within a project. The duration of the sprint is fixed and the output is a releasable product. Common duration of the sprint is 2 weeks to 1 month. During the sprint, no changes are allowed which will affect the sprint goal. In extreme circumstances, sprint need to be cancelled and start all over again. Development team members are not changed during sprint, as it can impact its goal. Let us look at another event, sprint planning meeting. During this meeting, team will identify what will be delivered and how it will be achieved. Product owner will present the high priority items from the product backlog. The team will then discuss on it to create a shared understanding. Development team will plan for the successful delivery of the sprint. At the end of the meeting, development team will forecast what can be delivered from the sprint. Another important event in Scrum is the daily Scrum meeting. It is a 15-minute time-boxed meeting. It is used to assess the progress towards the sprint goal. Scrum Master makes sure that these meetings happen and help to make it happen. It is held at the same place and time, and each development team members will give answers to the following 3 questions. 1. What has been achieved since last meeting? 2. What will be done before the next meeting? 3. What obstacles are in the way? The next event in the Scrum is the sprint review. It is held at the end of each sprint. The development team demonstrates the work that is done and clarify queries related to the sprint deliverables. In this meeting, the product owner decides what is done and what is not done. The product owner and the team will discuss on the remaining product backlog to determine what to do next. The final Scrum event is the Sprint Retrospective. This event also happens at the end of each sprint. The objective is to reflect on the process and look out for opportunities for improvement. It happens after the sprint review and before the next sprint planning meeting. Now let us review the various artifacts in the Scrum process. The most important artifact in the Scrum process is the product backlog. Product backlog is the ordered list of requirements needed for the successful product development. It is a dynamic and evolving document. Grooming is a process performed on product backlog to add more details, manage its ordering and its estimation. The next artifact in the sprint process is the sprint backlog. It is a set of items selected from the sprint backlog for a specific sprint. Based on the sprint backlog, a plan is made by the development team on how to achieve the sprint goal. It can be updated only by the development team. The last artifact in Scrum is the definition of done. When a backlog item is marked as done, everyone must agree about what done means. Team will collectively create the definition of done before they start working on a sprint. We have reached the end of this video. We have covered what is Scrum and its process in detail. Then we discussed about the 3 Scrum teams, 5 events and 3 artifacts involved in the Scrum. Thank you for watching this video. Please share it if you really like it.